Hello, StarCraft fans. We are finally into the round of 16 of the StarCastTV Star League Season 2. And as you can see, our first match is going to be Hero versus Scan. This is, of course, going to be a tough one for Scan here because Hero, he's one of the best Zergs on the planet. However, I think I remember, according to ASL stats, this is his weakest matchup. So maybe there is some world where Scan can take him down, but it's going to be extremely, extremely tough. Let's get a look at our round of 16 bracket overall, see if we can make some predictions here. Who looks good to make it all the way to the finals? Hero versus Scan is at the top. Oh my gosh, we got Snow versus Ample as the second, which means most likely that will be Snow versus Hero in the round of 8. That would be a killer matchup. Bishop versus Sins, Shine versus Tyson, Action versus Hyun, Mini versus Sharp, okay. Best versus Rush, and Royal versus Noob. I gotta say, the bottom side of the bracket looks hella stacked. There's a lot of good Terran players and Protoss players in the bottom side. I feel like Hero and Snow, they've got a really good shot to make it to the finals. Also, I see one of the strongest Zergs on the top side, it's Shine. Shine always does well in the ASL. You know, I don't really expect him to win ASL, but he consistently makes it to the round of 8, and he's a dangerous opponent. So maybe he could pull off an upset somewhere. But really, I've got my eyes on the bottom. I mean, this bottom side bracket looks crazy. So, interesting bracket. Let's get into the map picks for today. Let's see what our players have chosen. Looks like it was, oh my god, I can't even believe it. Scan's picking Troy. Have you lost your mind? And then not really a surprise here to see Dark Origin be picked by Hero. And then our remaining map will be Retro. I'm kind of surprised that Scan vetoes Radion. I think that's a good Terran map. Apocalypse, I can understand that one. You get Muta Harass there at your natural. It feels impossible to stop. But Radion? Why do you veto that as opposed to something like Troy? I don't know. Well, let's get into game one. It's going to be Hero facing off versus Scan on Dark Origin. Okay, in the top left, our Zerg. It is none other than Hero. And in the bottom, we do have Scan. And I'm trying to think back to the games in ASL that we saw of Hero. I remember him playing versus Rush. And if I remember correctly, didn't he go like 12 hatch, 12 pool, or 11 pool almost every game? Because of that, I'm really hoping that Scan actually 8-racks is here. I think it would be really nice, especially since he spawned bottom right, where he can do the full wall. But maybe it would be too obvious on this particular map at these spawns. But that's what I'm hoping to see. We've got the SCV going to the low ground. It is a little... okay. I saw him approaching the, 150 minerals, and I thought, wow, maybe this is going to be it. Maybe this will actually be the 8 racks, but it's not going to be the case. And look at this, Hero's actually sending out a quick drone to scout. So maybe this would be lined up where he scouts. If it's an 8 racks, he's going to go 12 pool. If it's not, then he's just going to go for his normal 12 hatch. And if that's the case, well then, actually my opener would have already been blind countered. And look at this timing. It looks like it's a pretty slick timing. Like the drone's not in position for the hatch, but there it goes, and it'll be in time for the hatch relatively soon. And he could have had a 12 pool come down right now if he saw it was an 8 racks. So actually, really good scout pattern from Hero here. I don't really think I've seen this timing. And yeah, he pulls 3 SCVs here because actually on this particular map, when drones come this quickly, a lot of times it ends up being like a 4 pull. So already this one single drone has done a lot of damage. I can't even tell you how much damage it's done. And look, he even builds an immediate depot because he knows that this potentially could have been an all-in. And Hero did pull out, I think, a 4 pull on Nemesis versus Rush. Was it Nemesis? can't remember, it was a blue player map in one of the previous ASLs, looked kind of like blockchain. So it's definitely in the arsenal. So I like that Scan respected that. And behind this, we see that this was something like a 210 gas. This is pretty much the normal opener for Zerg these days. Meanwhile, behind this, Scan's going to be feeling great that, hey, this was a normal opener. You didn't actually all-in me. I didn't, lose my depot and then have my natural breached. And he's just going to plop down that command center. I wonder what the follow-up will be for him. Even though he didn't get into the main, I'm sure he's guessing that the gas is slightly delayed. Maybe he could get away with something like a +1. Or maybe he'll just go into standard 2 racks follow-up. Oh, there's a Marine already here, but it is only one. I guess he's trying to act like he's pushing, and it will just back off. In Scan's main, I see gas going down. This looks like an eBay timing type of gas. That's what I'm going to be expecting to see in the next moment. Not yet, though. Okay, there it is, at the corner of the base. There's the eBay. And in the main of Hero, actually, I thought with his fast scout that the 210 gas was just kind of normal because of the early scout, but actually, he's got some good econ here. He's built his 3rd hatch in his main already. Gonna have some big time macro capabilities. And Scan, well, he completely walls it off now. I guess there was a slight gap there, so he could get some Marines in and out. Sneaks out an SCV, will be intercepted from it by a Ling immediately. And I don't think this is gonna get much intel. I see the gas going down for Hero in his natural. No Hydrogen in his main. It is just gonna be normal Spire. Everything so far looks pretty normal. And the Academy kind of just started. This is definitely a more eco-based opener. 4-minute, 4:05 Academy, something along those lines. This signals to me that this is going to be at least 4 racks. I think if it was going to be a 3 racks, he would have put it down quicker, get his faster upgrades. But to me, I think he's going to be in his main a little bit longer, wait for those upgrades to kick in, and then get out onto the map with a massive amount of Marine Medic. That's what I'm expecting. And I think what Hero's got here is going to be a good counter to what Scan's doing. He's going to have big econ, he's going to have big production, he's going to be able to face the army head on. Marine Medic versus Mutiling, I think. We'll see though. There goes the first couple barracks. I do expect to see one more, but players like mine actually go 3 racks almost every single game. But if you're 3 racks and you're not really looking to punish bases, you're just going to be sitting in your base, pretty much camping, teching up. And we've got that 3rd base coming down at top right. There are the mutas being produced. Scan goes off, and he will see... I guess we're not going to... Okay, he's going to see the main, and he'll see the timing. And he'll also know that this was a 2.5 hatch build. 7 mutas are going to be on the way. And that looked like the drone was setting up to already build either a Hydrogen or a Queen's Nest. That's crazy fast if he put that down. I think he's already put something down. Well, this is interesting. I wonder what the reason for getting the really fast Hydrogen is. Does he think he can't hold with just his Mutalisk, the top right position? Does he feel like he really needs to rush Lurkers this quick? Guess he does for some reason. I don't think so. I feel like Mutiling could potentially deal with any Marine Medic army. The Mutas are in the main now. Turrets already set up, and okay, there are turrets at the back of the base. Not going to be able to dive on top of those minerals and get some SCV kills. That is a lot of turrets that Scan built. Actually, a ton of turrets. It's something like 10 turrets in total that he ended up building, but he's got a good SCV count. You can see sitting at 34. Pretty much where you want to be as Terran here. And actually, he's on the move. Yeah, he is ramping up his tech somewhat quickly, 630 factory. But he is actually out on the map with just 3 racks. Now remember, his +1 weapon should be really quick. So these Marines are going to be really strong. But range, maybe a little late. Wow, he already snipes a Mutalisk. Not that many Lings to help support the Mutas. But you can see the power of these bridges. You just chew through units as they funnel through. Maybe it was a smart move to rush these lurkers, because Scan could be on the move. Pretty soon we see another Scan go off, but I don't think he realizes how fast that hydrogen went down. He may feel like he has a moment to get up to top right and actually knock it down, but actually that's already come and gone. Lurkers are already going to be up and in position, and I really love Hero's position now. It doesn't really seem like he's going to take much damage. His Queen's Nest is already done. He's going to start scaling into his hive. But Scan, it looked like he was going to go for a tank push. You can see he canceled his add-on and now is just going into double starport. I think that's the smarter move. Just ramp up your irradiates. And I wonder if he'll try and, flood Raxes here, or if he'll try and get a third base. I think getting a third base is the move. I think there's too much production here to, make a drop work. I feel like Scourge, Mutiling are going to be in position in time. And I don't think you're going to kill top right. So I'm hoping to see third command center come down. We've seen more and more Terran players in the past year, opt into the faster third base opposed to going into faster 7 barracks. And Hero's actually gotten away kind of with murder with just 9 Evilus. However, he didn't really do any damage to the SCV line. And for those of you out there that do watch BSL, for example, one of the things that my own opinion, is I think a lot of the times the Zerg struggle versus players like Mihu because they don't do any damage to his mineral line. And that's exactly what has happened here. I mean, Scan's sitting almost at 50 workers. Yes, he's not on 3 bases, but he's taken almost no damage. He's hitting his build. He's hitting his upgrades. I feel like he could take a third base, potentially even a 4th base, whenever the hell he wants. And he's going to be able to pump out 1 million vessels unhindered and just ramp up that irradiate. Mutas, ooh, good reaction there. Didn't take any damage. Scan so far, I guess, still hasn't made the decision. Okay, there we go. There's the decision. It is going to be 7 barracks, so he does want to breach one of these bases. So he is committing really hard to an attack. He did get fast +1. Maybe with his fast +1 armor, he'll be able to actually bust some lurkers somewhere, but there's just so many, and it's on high ground at top right. I'm just not seeing where you bust. But I do notice in the main of Hero, there are no Scourge. Mutas aren't in position. Lings aren't in position. Maybe a mass drop could actually hit. But the Overlords are in a good position to intercept. So I don't know how well that would actually work. We've got the first 2 science vessels out onto the map. Even though there's only 9 Mutas, they've done a decent amount of damage to keep the Marine Ball in check. He's gotten, maybe 10 Marine and Medic kills in total? Ooh, that vessel might die. Oh, it does bait an irradiate, though. Double irradiate. Oh my gosh, that did so much damage. Wow, that did a lot of damage. And these hold position lurkers are going to have to be moved back into a more cautious position. Oh, holy smokes. I don't know what Hero is seeing that I'm not seeing, but he feels confident to take a 4th base at the left side. Of course, Scan doesn't know that it's going down. But if he did, I think he can just waltz over there and kill it. There's really not that much defense for Hero. It's 3 lurkers, and that's it. There isn't even Ling support. But why on earth would you ever take... Okay, did he scan it? I don't think he did scan it. Yeah, he's not going over there just yet, but if he sees this, he should just kill it. I think even he's surprised that this 4th base is there. Dark Form comes down. He will be pushed back, but... he's just going to be pushed into the hatch, and there is a cancel. Behind this, I did notice that Hero has his +1 armor done. That's going to be great for him. Going to allow him to maybe potentially get into Ultralisk later on into the game at a quicker moment than usual. And Scan. I'm not really seeing a lot of reinforcements move across the map. Does he have drops somewhere? Nope, that's a vessel. And I think at bottom left, that's a Marine. Still no dropships anywhere. Scan has, pretty much started to cut while sitting at this 48 SCV count. Still committed to the 7 barracks. I think that's the command center in his main. Yep, there's the dropship. He knew he was going to go dropships at some point. Looks like he wanted to get it after the first 4 vessels, so he can start irradiating, putting pressure at, the natural on the 3rd base, and potentially that open up a drop on the left side. Radiates goes down, gets the Lurker, gets the Defiler, does not snipe the Scourge, and he loses 2 vessels. That is really painful. Really nice for Hero there. Going to alleviate a lot of the pressure that these vessels can bring. That is at least 3, I think 4 have been built. But the Overlord's in position, and there's Scourge and Mutas sitting there and waiting. If he was to go all the way to the left side and around, maybe... Oh, that was a massive play, hit the entire army, but a massive drop going to top right. Where do you drop, though? Oh, he's actually going to hook around to the natural? No way. No way. Going to do a partial unload, and then... Oh, no. Here comes the Scourge. Looks like he's kind of stuck, man. He unloads in the back, but he's not going to be able to get up this ramp. He at least has knocked down the Scourge, so that does... Oh, no, he has not. There's Scourge over here also, and he loses 2 dropships. Looks like this Marine Medic army might actually win that battle. Okay, actually, that drop did have some units in it. Maybe he can get some drones, but it's not going to be very many. The Lurker's in position. Well, it was more than I thought. What was it, 5 drones or so? But still... Not sure that this was worthwhile. 4 drops is a massive commitment. That, you know, if he didn't lose his first 2 vessels, that would have put him at 8 vessels, and 8 vessels irradiating, that is monstrous amounts of damage. Those players floating a little bit of cash, you don't really see that often these days. You know, it's not the biggest of deal for Hero because he can just, you know, go ultras and immediately spend it all. But I am worried for Scan here. After losing all those vessels plus dropships and floating a decent amount, is he going to have enough to pop Hero's 3rd base, or not 3rd base, his 4th base? Well, the answer is there no energy for Dark Swarm? Oh my gosh, the plagues are crazy. I don't think he can engage into this anymore. He'll just get one-shotted. He's going to have to turn around. Dropship. Is it loaded up? Trying to make something happen. Oh, the Lurker. Lurker's mine. Big shot. Get rid of all the Lurkers on the left side, though, so he actually has some capability of knocking down this hatchery. These Lurkers at the 3rd base of Scan are still sitting there, though, denying this base for so long. He's going to be mined out in his main pretty soon. We're at 15 minutes into the game. He's actually going into double tank. That's an expensive follow-up. Oh my gosh, and he loses his whole army. This is getting really out of control. He lost all of his tech. He lost pretty much his entire army. Now he's trying to go into tanks and vessels while also going 7 racks bio on 2 bases. I don't know how this is going to fare. Hero's one of those players that really does like to go Hydra Lurker, which makes it really hard to make Marine Medic vessel work. But if you're going to go double tank, that's like really expensive to do as a follow-up after going 2 port 7 racks. So this feels like this is going to kind of alleviate a lot of the pressure that Scan has on the map, which means Zerg can just explode. Of course, he doesn't know that it is double factory, but that's what I'm imagining will happen after eliminating this army. Zerg's just gonna, you know, go crazy mode, get his 4th base up and running, 5th base getting taken also at the same time, and there it is, GG. Yeah, the floodgates have started to kick in, and Scan taps out. I think after the 2 vessels got sniped, and the 4 dropships didn't really do the damage he was looking for, when you're facing a 2.5 hatch build, with a fast 3rd, with fast, you know, 3rd hatch in your main also, big time macro, it's going to be really hard to recover, especially since your 3rd base was denied. So, well done from Hero. He solidifies Game 1 victory. And we're going to be getting into Game 2, which will be Troy, Gan's map pick. So in the top right, our brown Terran, we've got Scan. And in the bottom right, 1 game away from being our first player into the round of 8, we've got Hero. Well, this is going to be interesting because I will speak for myself here. As a Terran player, I hate this map. I don't really see any benefit to picking this map. Yes, the rush distances are close, but if they go pool first, you can get walled in. if you're someone that can't play Wraith, I don't think you can, you know, exploit the power of Wraith on this map. Of course, if you can't play Wraith. So I don't know why you're picking this unless you've got something really special planned. And Scan, I'm sure he can play Wraith, but when was the last time I saw him play Wraith? I can't even remember. But I wonder what his build order is going to be. Like, this is a map you can't go mech either on, because you're just going to get your assimilators killed off and then the game's over. And no shocker here, it's going to be an overpool. Now, I think in the sense, if you can bait an overpool or a 9 pool and go something like a 10 racks here, where your 10 racks can deal with the lings, they can't kill the assimilator, and now you're playing versus a Zerg that's low econ, I guess that can be the theory behind it. Because if Zerg doesn't overpool or something, and you 8 racks, you wall them in, and they're dead. It's just going to be a 1-hatch Meadow play, which is still dangerous, but definitely, like, at this level, players should be able to win versus it. So I don't know. We'll see. Nothing unusual in Scan's main. No gas just yet. This looks like it's just going to be a normal command center follow-up. Everything I would say from Hero's side looks pretty normal. No gas just yet. Of course, it was an overpool, so I'm expecting it to be like a 230 gas. Scan has not scouted yet, though, but he will see that Zerg is bottom right. And now he will get some intel. And actually, the reason there's no gas is because Hero is going to actually go 3-hatch this game. This hatch, or this drone on the left side, looking to build a hatchery. And I'm not sure if that SCV actually saw the 4 lings move towards the left side. If he thinks that this is only 2 lings, okay, there are no SCVs being pulled off the line, and there's just 2 isolated Marines. This is already really bad. This is really bad. Oh no, and it was a move command. He's going to lose both of his Marines. He's probably going to lose this command center. Okay, I guess if he's going to run into the main, he's just going to lose the Marines, but this is terrible for Scan. There's also 2 more lanes. At this level, this is game ending. You're playing versus a pro with 7 or 10 SCVs off of the mineral line versus a player who has 3 hatches. His eco is going to go crazy here. The ling control is fantastic. Really good SCV block, by the way, to get those right up against that Marine to make sure it does not get intercepted. Really, really good. Ends up only losing, what was it, 3 Marines, I guess? I mean, he could have lost more than that. If this command center dies, luckily he's going to actually get up and running. Now, in Hero's main, I've noticed he has spent 100 gas on something. He is supply blocked. So that is, I guess, good for Scan. Maybe he can come back after a big supply block. There's the second barracks. We still don't know what Hero's doing as a follow-up. There's the lair. He spent another 100 gas. I'm not sure if this is actually lair first, or if this is actually feed into lair. And in Scan's main, it should be an academy as a follow-up. I see more ling. I see more lings. What is it? 8 more lings? This could be an all-in. I think this is an all-in. Those are more lings being built from the main and natural, and there is no bunker. I like the SimCity with the depot, but he needs a bunker here. And there's a double gap. Oh no. And the lings just get on top of the Marines, and even the fastest reaction is not going to save you. It's just way too many lings. And there's the GG. Hero, he is going to take it 2-0. I do like to see games on Droid because we get to see some, new builds. You get to see some different openers. But unfortunately, that game, we didn't really get to see anything. Scan tried to play normal. I think in terms of build order, if he doesn't lose the Marines in the beginning, I think he's at a slight advantage because obviously Hero's going lowish econ with the overpool. But unfortunately, we never got to see the mid game. didn't actually get to see what Scan had planned, as Hero's just going to directly move on into the round of 8 really quickly. So let's get a look at our bracket once more. We've got Hero 2-0 over Scan. I think that was kind of the expected result because Hero's just really freaking good, man. He's just crazy good. And you could see it on Dark Origin. He shut down all the pressure of Scan. The plagues were insane. Like every time I looked at Scan's army, it was plagued. And behind it, the eco was incredible. It was like 5 base Zerg. Absolutely nuts. So he's looking really good in the tournament already. Of course, I've got my eyes on my boy Snow. He'll be facing off versus Ample in the next round. I think, once again, he can go pretty far, but Hero may stop him in the round of 8. I mean, that's a killer matchup right there. Hero versus Snow in the round of 8. I don't think you could really get a better matchup. So it's going to be tough for him coming through the top side, but maybe he can do it. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next group.